Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 20th of July, 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1. It was a cracking day for the S&P ASX 200, led by the tech stocks and the big miners. That followed a big rally on Wall Street overnight. The market ended up 1.7% to close at 6,759 points. Around 90% of stocks ended in the black today, and all 11 sub-indices closed higher. Where to start? Well, Fortescue Metals led the way, rising more than 5%, while Rio was up more than 2% and BHP closed up 1.4%. Macquarie was among the best of the financials, rising nearly 4%. Westpac and Commonwealth Bank both jumped more than 1%. Industrial property group Goodman closed 3.4% higher. Gold digger Newcrest Mining was up 2.3% and South32 jumped 3.5%. You get the gist of it. Good news all round. Megaport's share price jumped as much as 28% in early trading after the cloud and data center group announced its first pre-tax profit thanks to success in Japan and Canada. By the end of trading, Megaport was up 23%. Buy now, pay later operator Zipco jumped 13%. The worst on the day, at least among the top 200, was NIB Holdings, down nearly 3%. Story number 2, cryptos continue to run with Bitcoin hitting a 1-month high today. Okay, $23,700 a unit isn't exactly shooting the lights out for the digital unit, but it is the best in a month since the collapse of the crypto lender Celsius network. Ether and Solana, the next couple of big cryptos, also recorded double-digit gains. And before we leave the sector, Philip Lowe, the Reserve Bank boss, today is reported as saying that stable coins linked to the value of a national currency have promise, but the rest of the crypto sector is speculative. There you go. Story number 3. The federal government has announced a review of the Reserve Bank of Australia, the first in more than 30 years. The panel includes a Canadian central banker, an ANU, that's Australian National University economics professor, and a former senior Treasury official. The review will consider the workings of the bank, from who should be on the board through to how it will communicate. The Governor, Dr. Lowe, welcomed the review and commended the panel. What else is he going to do? Story number 4. China has created a state-backed iron ore company to take on the pricing power of BHP and Rio Tinto. A company called China Mineral Resources Group was established this week and is expected to oversee everything from massive mine investments in West Africa to buying steel-making material from global suppliers. Beijing has backed the creation of the company to aid procurement of raw materials for steelmaking. According to Bloomberg, China bought about $180 billion of iron ore last year and has long complained about the pricing power of the big Australian miners. BHP and Rio Tinto are the biggest sellers to China, so we'll see how that one goes. And story number 5, Wall Street had its best day in 3 weeks overnight, spurring on other global indices. Bourses across the Asia region rose today. It wasn't just the ASX. Tokyo's Nikkei and Hang Seng in Hong Kong both were up 2%. The Korean, Indian and Taiwanese markets also rose. Back on Wall Street, positive earnings reports helped push the broader-based S&P 500 up 2.5% and the tech-heavy Nasdaq nearly 3%. Some of the standout performers included Apple, Alphabet and Johnson & Johnson. Netflix did very well in after-hours trading as well. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 20th of July, 2022. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning for the Thursday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.